What's up, family? Bigg Vic back with another video, and today I have an interesting question for you. Is $2 per mile the absolute golden rule for moving freight? Make no mistake about it, I'm sure the goal is to get the highest paying load humanly possible as an owner-operator. But as the market goes up and down, you don't want to get in the mindset that anything less than $2 per mile isn't worth taking. Listen, it would be amazing for every load to be above $2, but in reality, that's not where things are right now. When running a business, we have to look at the big picture and also consider the market. We have to choose a strategy that can still work, make us profit, even when the market is showing otherwise. Look at your business from the perspective of cost and revenue, not a dollar per mile view, which can only get us in trouble if we don't understand our numbers. I hear about guys that run local loads that pay slightly higher per mile and then still being surprised that they're not making a lot of money. Unless you have dedicated lanes, contracted freight, it can be difficult to make these big daily numbers locally. Now, we all know that today's prices are not yesterday's prices. The truth is that making good money running only local is almost not possible. Key word here, almost. Now, before you guys get the Kermit the Frog fingers and start going cuckoo in the comment section, I said almost. Granted, if you have contracts or dedicated local lanes, I'm not talking to you guys. This is why it still makes sense to run regional or OTR even in this market. I was on a call with my friends over at Dispatch Experts and we ran a few numbers together, which I will show you shortly. Again, shout out to Dispatch Experts for sponsoring today's video. More on them later in the episode. Okay, so let's look at this scenario. Say we have a huge local load paying us anywhere from $4 to $6 per mile. A load like this may be 50 to 100 miles, paying somewhere in the range of $200 to $400. Now, if we only want to do local, let's play with these numbers. We would need to do 3 loads per day like this every day for 5 days to come close to $4,000 to $5,000 per week gross. 3 loads per day, every day? This may not be possible, and even if you can get them consistently timing-wise, this is super difficult. Maybe one day, possibly 2 days, but not every single day. Think about loading, offloading times, local traffic. This is extremely hard to do even with the higher rate per mile. I've tried it in my market with Amazon Relay, and it's not easy to pull off day after day. So, if we consider looking at the bigger picture of our weekly and monthly numbers, we could be losing in the long term. If you are consistently reaching these numbers on a local level, drop a comment below because you, my friend, will be one of the few that needs to be applauded. All right, let's see what a regional strategy would look like if our daily trips were roughly 600 to 650 miles. Even at an average of $1.50 per mile, we can come close to $5,000 per week. At this rate, if we optimize and look out a whole month, we can gross somewhere in the $20,000 range. Now note that it's critical to plan out your routes and have a day-by-day plan with the big picture in mind. It's crucial that your team or whoever supports you understands this. I can tell you that my guys over at Dispatch Experts are ahead of the game in helping business owners plan and hit weekly and monthly targets. Most importantly, they're in tune with the market and will always give you an honest and realistic picture of what's possible and what's not. I'm personally in touch with Mike. Check out their website, fill out the form, put my code in, and Mike will call you back and see what can be done in helping you run more effectively. If you understand all of this and decide to go OTR, then on a monthly scale, you could reach even higher numbers in the $20,000 to $25,000 range. Strategy is the name of the game. In this business, you need to have a good team, planning routes, or have a good dispatcher that understands these concepts and can look out for you in the long run. Know where you are moving your truck to and from at all times. What does the market look like that I'm going into? Because what we don't want is for you to get shell-shocked when you reach out to your dispatcher and they call you with a load where the number is astronomically lower than you would consider moving. This happens when you enter a market where the average could be lower. You have to ask questions. Is this a full truckload? Is it a partial? Is it dedicated? Can I add anything else to this haul? But don't complain that they wanted you to take a load 1,000 miles for 50 cents per mile when you were in a bad area. Again, planning is super important when moving in these murky waters of the freight and logistics business. The people that plan properly will win, and the people that don't will probably go out of business. So when we look at things from a business perspective and not look at every single load from the I'm not taking anything less than $2 per mile strategy, you can still be smart, make your money, and stick around longer than most of these carriers that do not have a strategy, thus putting things more in your favor when the market shifts back to the carriers. And at that point, you will be ahead of the game because you chose to have a solid strategy that keeps your truck rolling and in profit. Now, the flip side to that is you can always park your truck, wait around for rates to shoot up, quit, or go back to the old 9-to-5er. But for those who are consistent and look at trucking as a business and not just as a driver, you need to highly consider the bigger picture and know your costs and monthly targets. This is super importante. You guys, the wealth of information that is at our fingertips is at an all-time high. This means that we have the necessary data to know if we are potentially going to a good or bad area. You can use tools like DAT's national load count to say, hey, there isn't a lot of loads coming out of said market, or freight is plentiful coming out of this other market. You can at least make smarter load choices instead of guesstimating if when you drop off a load, will you be able to get freight to keep them wheels turning. I personally prefer the Midwest when I'm OTR. It's no secret because I can bounce back and forth in those pockets and stay very profitable. I already know when I'm heading into a market what to expect. And if the freight is light coming out of an area that I'm considering moving in, I use this as negotiating leverage to ask for more money for that load. Believe me, brokers know when their freight is going to a horrible market. And generally, if you study freight, those are the loads still hanging around on the board for hours. There are a ton of new authorities coming into business. Some of these folks out here really don't want to see y'all starting companies and digging your hands in their pockets. The perception is that the new guys are coming into business and taking dirt cheap loads to keep their businesses afloat. But if this is accurate, I thought the news was new authorities are not able to book loads with brokers under 90 days. Guys, do your due diligence. Make the phone calls. Send out the emails. There's work for you out here. You just have to find it. Lease on to an aged authority to get them wheels spinning and winning. There are so many different ways for you to make money with your equipment. The biggest problem is everybody is running to YouTube and wants all the answers handed to them on a silver platter. You may have to do some homework to get to the bag. This is not a lazy man's game. Those who can put all of the pieces to the puzzle together and formulate a plan afterwards are the people that will keep backing up to the bank vault and dumping money in their accounts, period. If you're on the road to freedom, drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. What concerns do you have? Are you making it work? Is your business still profitable in spite of industry rates fluctuating? Drop those comments. It's Tommy Bigg Vic. Always hustle, never stop growing. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's eat, baby.